You know what? I'm just gonna go straight into this because, I don't necessarily want to be wasting too much time on this. Um, I'm I'm getting really frustrated, guys, and I want to kind of talk about it here a little bit. Um, so, you know, I don't mean to put this on anybody. Okay, I don't mean to um um I don't really want to make this kind of video because it's I don't necessarily want you guys to kind of feel my frustration, but at the same time, I don't know what else to do because this is um there has to be a change, okay? There has to be a change out there, okay? Because this is getting ridiculous, okay? Um you know, Guys like myself, I mean, I've been trying to get into the software development industry for a long time. Okay. I entered college with the idea, hey, I'd find something that would, that I would be happy with doing, and then I would, um, get somewhere where, I'd have a grand old time doing my job. I'd be happy doing my job. I'd meet, like-minded individuals and we'd all have a grand time. I actually loved one of, like, the first two jobs that I had. I actually loved. Okay. I would have loved to stay at both of those companies. Okay. The first one, had to basically close their doors. They had to basically let go of pretty much everybody except for um, uh, their core group of developers and individuals there because they couldn't hold on to everybody. Okay, it was a gaming company. They finished off their contract, but they couldn't. Um, they had to let everybody else go because they couldn't guarantee that they would find like another contract afterwards, right? So, hold on, pardon me. I need to blow my nose. Okay. So, um, and to be honest, I completely found that reasonable. I was like, going, okay, understood, understandable. Would have loved to have stayed with them, but they needed to stick with their senior developers. Okay, you know, understandable. Again, I would have loved to have stayed with that company. Okay, I would have loved to have stayed with them, learn from them, work with them, develop more with them, so that um, you know, we could have made some fantastic games. You know, or I could contribute to making fantastic games. Would have loved to have done that. Um, but obviously, it wasn't meant to be. Um, I later found out that it's really difficult to get into the gaming industry anyway. Okay, there's very limited companies that can maintain a stability in programming. You know, um, game companies don't really last very long. Um, you know, so um, you're basically left with you do a game for a short period of time, you basically get that under your belt, and then you can basically say, "Hey, I worked on this game, hire me for the next game." Um, and it's very, it can be very chaotic. It can be very, um, it could be potentially dangerous, especially for someone brand new, because not many companies want to hire brand new, fresh out of college workers, it seems nowadays. Okay, that company gave me a chance, and I thought I did a pretty decent job, but again, they didn't have another contract lined up. Okay, if they did, then I might, then they might have kept me on. I don't know. Okay, but it is what it is. Um, So it took me some time. I found a second job out here where I currently live. Um, they did a sister location. Their main location was back east, and they wanted to make a another office, closer to where I originally lived, to try to, capitalize on the amount of workers, the amount of developers that were, you know, basically everywhere in California, and they wanted to try to capitalize on that. They wanted to try to get some more people in their office to work on their own projects. They were a small development company working on with um, smaller businesses, that couldn't afford their own, hiring their own developer. So they basically, you know, paid this company to do the work for them, right? So I got in there and they said, okay, sure, you know how to program, but you need to learn Cold Fusion. Um, so I did. I learned Cold Fusion. Um, and I started to learn database because I didn't learn about that in college. You know, database was not a requirement in the majority of California companies. More often than not, database was typically an elective, or at least in the two places that I went to, the two colleges that I went to, three colleges if you can consider the community college. Um, so yeah, I mean, so that was kind of my fault in not having the database background, but still, um, it's not like I can't learn it. So I got in there, um, was doing a pretty bang up job, I thought. You know, learned the cold fusion and got to work. Doing what they needed to get done. I even fixed some of the problems that they had. They had like um, one, saw the fact that their login was completely, was totally screwed over by a previous programmer that, worked on it prior to me. So I fixed that mess. I also, um, saw that they had a lot of security issues. I didn't know about, security programming in the past, so I didn't really know, um, everything that there was to learn about that. So, I asked one of the other developers who knew, I learned and I found out that, hey, the company that we were basically hired from, their website was just full of holes. And I'm like, hey, CEO, this company has a lot of problems. Maybe we can try to work on getting it fixed. And well, shortly after that, I was like, oh, 1 year contract and gone. And it's been a struggle trying to find work ever since. Um, found a non-programming job after that because I needed, I was still very much, um, on my own, and no one was hiring. No one was hiring entry-level job programmers, and having 1 year and 3 months of non-college related work, does nothing, you know. And every single place that I kept on trying to apply to for entry level jobs weren't really looking for entry level jobs. I kept on finding senior this, senior, 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 senior. I'm like, where's the entry level jobs? you know, you know what they told me in college? Over and over and over again. We're just gonna we're just gonna teach you the basics. You know, out there in the industry, that's where you really learn. You learn the meat and potatoes of everything that, you need out there in the real world, right? That's what that they told, in college. We'll give you the basics here, and then out there in the industry, you'll learn everything else. Yeah, I'm waiting for that. I've been waiting for that. Because I apply for entry level jobs and they're not really entry level there, folks. They're not, or at least it doesn't feel that way to me. Um, Here, let me see if I can get um um let me see if I can bring this one job posting up here. So um I gotta be a little careful here. Let's see. I don't want to, dox myself at this moment in time, so trying to make sure that I'm let's see. They're gonna. Let me see. Um, I don't necessarily need an additional profile here. God damn it. Um, and unfortunately, I can't get to the. I can't really get to this here right at this moment in time. Okay. Okay. Let me just kind of um, show off like one of these, right? So, okay. Here's here's one of the software developer entry level positions, right? So, okay, 1 to 2 years of experience developing Java, core Java, multi-threading, concurrency, etc. Okay, that can be covered in college. Understandable on that. Experience with the following software technologies: relational databases. Okay, I mean, if you've had a database class, that should be covered. Enterprise Service Bus. I'm not actually familiar with that personally. Um, hold on. Enterprise Service Bus. What's that? Um, Mutually interacting software applications in the service-oriented architecture represents software architecture for distributed computing. Special variant of the more general client-server model, wherein any application may behave as a server client. ESB promotes agility or flexibility with regard to high-level protocol communication between applications. It's primarily used in enterprise application integration, heterogeneous and complex service landscapes. Okay. Maybe I've missed this portion of um, being taught in college, but I've never even heard of this before. But apparently, um, it's basically, an architecture. So, okay. Uh, Add that to the list of all the other architectures that are out there, but sure. Um, I mean, um, you know, you go to service-oriented architectures, and it's like, how many do you want to see? You know, um, so it's like it can be very nitpick in this particular case. Okay. Are you going to be able to find one particular person that actually has knowledge on that? Maybe. Hard to say. You know, probably. There might have been someone that actually got introduced to Enterprise Service Bus and learned about Enterprise Service Bus. That wasn't me, but sure. I mean, let's move on though. Continuous integration software, preferably GitLab. GitLab, not GitHub. Automated software builds and version control systems, preferably GitLab. Okay, so I'm assuming that GitLab is a um, connected with GitHub in that, you develop, you know, and connect your software with GitLab, and that it would basically, upload into a GitHub account, you know. So sure. Let's move on. Ability to operate effectively with a high level of independence. Okay. Um, you're talking entry level. High level of independence for entry level shouldn't be a thing. Okay. Because you're going to be talking about individuals that are coming out of college here. Okay. They're going to need to know more things than anybody that is considered a senior or junior. Okay. So, sure, you might want them to have a high level of independence, but you can't expect a high level of independence. Okay. Because if you do high level of independence, then they're going to make mistakes. Okay. Or they have the potential of making a lot of mistakes. You don't want that. Not for an entry level. So this seems stupid. Um, you want to mentor your entry levels. Okay. So sure, you want them to operate effectively. Who doesn't? Okay. But for an entry level, that's, you know, you need to have a little bit more oversight on your entry levels there, folks. I don't care who you are. Okay. Um, so this seems strong willingness to quickly explore and learn new skills. Okay. I mean, sure. Any developer should be willing to want to learn as much as they can, no matter what language, no matter what they're kind of doing. So, sure, okay, no problems. Strong technical writing and verbal communication skills. I mean, that's pretty much a given. So, yeah, okay, but again, you're also talking entry level here, there, folks. So, sure, they might have, you know, strong communication, hopefully in your preferred language, but they might not always. Let's face it, some of them might have English as a second language, so might not necessarily fit the bill. Bonus qualifications not required. So here's the thing. Whenever I see this, I think they're not looking for entry level. They're looking for juniors or, you know, this 1 plus 2 plus. Yeah, no, that's um, they might hire someone at bare bones, maybe, but probably not. Um, they want people with web programming languages, you know, PHP and JavaScript. They want people that know REST and web services. SNMP traps. For anybody that wants to know about SNMP traps, because I sure do, because I've never actually heard of that particular phrase before. Um, an SNMP trap is a type of SNMP protocol data unit. Okay, what is SNMP? Unlike other protocol data unit types. An SNMP trap, an agent can send an unrequested message to the manager to notify about an important event. Again, what is an SNMP? Simple Network Management Protocol. Gotcha. Okay, so that's what it's all about. So you're talking about someone that, you know, has more of a networking background. Let's add that to the list of things that you probably should know about this job. Um, so, already we're talking about someone that you need to know Java as a base, you know, um, with multi-threading and concurrency and so on and so forth. So basically, like a full stack developer. You need to have relational databases, so you need to know database design and all that. Oh, but you also need to know web programming languages, you know, um, as a, you know, as another language that you should be familiar with, um, you know, with all of the various services that come with. You need to know networking. Oh, you need to know server development. Let's add that to the list of things that a entry level should know about, right? Um, LDAP and Active Directory. Okay, just for those of you that might not know what LDAP is. Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. So basically, it can be used in Microsoft Active Directory, but can also be used in other tools such as OpenLDAP, Red Hat Directory Server, LBM Security Directory Server, for example. Open source LDAP applications, Windows client, admin tool. Open vendor neutral industry standard application protocol for accessing and maintaining distributed directory information services over the Internet Protocol Network. Network packet sniffing. Wireshark. What is Wireshark exactly? Hmm? Wireshark is an open source packet analysis program, packet analyzer. So you need to know about that as a helpful, tool. Java PCAP libraries. What's that? Um, okay, capturing, crafting, and sending packets. So you're definitely going to need to know how to handle networking almost definitively. Virtual environments. Okay. Java application software installation. Preferably IZPack. What is IZPack? Packaging applications on the Java platform. Okay, yeah, so um, but here's the thing. There's multiple programs out there that can also do the exact same thing. So them expecting IZPack, you know, is relational database with Java database. What is it? Basic compatibility. What is it again? Again, I haven't worked on database design, so I don't really know Java database connectivity. Okay. So I don't really know everything that there is to know about databases. So preferably MySQL. Okay. But I mean, well, I mean, you still need to use the Java database connection, but I mean, MySQL, but I mean, again, there's multiple different SQL languages out there, folks. So MySQL isn't the only one out that's out there. So I mean, once again, very specific here. For an entry level Java messaging service, preferably Artemis Apache ActiveMQ. There's that enterprise service bus. JavaScript and TypeScript as well. They're, these are bonus qualifications there, folks. If someone actually has all this, then they're going to consider them more than anybody that is entry level. Okay. You know, if you have someone that's all this, okay, great. You know, they might fit the bill. But if they find someone that has all of this as well, good luck on that. How many positions are they going to hire? Probably one. Probably one position of this entire, for this entire company. But that's the experience. Uh, BS or BA preferred but not required. I mean, that's good, right? For those of you that has learned programming but hasn't been able to go to a college to get a degree, I mean, hopefully you have a chance. Must be able to obtain the IAT2 certification within the first 90 days of hire. Okay, let's go over this one here, right? What is that? That is the cybersecurity certificate. Um, a lot of sponsors at the very top here. Let's see. Okay. As an extension of Appendix 3 of the DoD manual, the following certifications have been approved as IA baseline certifications for an IA workforce. Personal performing IA functions must obtain one of the certifications required for their position, category, specialty, and level. Refer to Appendix 3 of 8570.01-M for further implementation guidance. Approved baseline certifications. The IAT Level 2, which is what they were looking for. So you need the CCNA security, the CYSA Plus, the GICSP, the GSEC, the Security Plus CE, the CND, and the SSCP. Um, so the above table provides a list of DoD approved IA baseline certifications aligned to each category and level of the IA workforce. Personal performing IA functions must obtain one of the certifications required for their position, category, specialty, and level to fulfill the IA baseline certification requirement. Most IA levels within a category or specialty have more than one approved certification, and a certification may apply to more than one level. An individual needs to obtain only one of the approved certifications for his or her IA category and specialty level to meet the minimum requirement. So an individual at an IAT Level 2 position could obtain any one of the 4 certifications listed in the IAT Level 2 cell. So in order to get the IAT Level 2 cell, you need to try to get one of these 7 certifications that they have there, right? So, um, so how much time to get that kind of certification? Um, 3 to 5 months is the first one for the CCNA security. That's their estimate there. Um, Assuming this one here. How much time to get that? Less than 6 weeks. But those people probably have some IT and cybersecurity experience. Had a lot of time every day to study, or especially good test takers. Um, let's see this website here. Let's see what they basically said. They say, okay, so it looks like this one is probably one of the easier um, certifications to maybe get. Um, they they did a poll. Got 176 people that responded. 27% had less than 4 weeks to get the certification. 39% had 4 weeks to 2 months, so still within the time frame that they want. Or actually, no, wait, they said 90 days, right? Yeah, it's still within the time frame. 15% had 2 to 4 months, and 19% had more than 4 months. So, um, so you're looking at 34%. So basically 1/3. The respondents here might not have gotten that, might have had trouble getting that certification in the time that this company wants within the first 90 days of hire. So, so you better, if you want this job, you're probably going to want to try to get, one of those certifications quickly, right? Let's see. What about this one? Um, well, that's the how long it takes to um, let's see. And 3 to 6 months is normal. Oh, well, but that might be the CISSP certification here. Um, um, let's see. Uh, did a similar path, took about 6 months, but it was part-time, evenings, weekends, and I did a few in that time frame. Since curriculum overlaps a lot, I figured I could take 4 certifications with a little extra effort, according to this particular individual. But I mean, again, um, that might be a little rough, right? Potentially, you know, 6 months, might not have the luxury of that. Much time to get this one. Um, for this particular exam preparation, you need to study for at least 4 to 5 months. How about this one? Okay. Most people prepare for 30 to 45 days for a Security Plus certification exam. Indeed, people learn at different speeds and methods. Some Security Plus training courses cover all security topics weekly, while others take several months. So, again, that might be a little difficult, right? How much time for this one? Um, okay, unfortunately, there's a lot of extra topics with this particular acronym, so I'm not really getting clear, um, I'm not really getting a clear answer here. Um, okay, total time required to obtain a CND certification could range from a week to a few months, depending on how much time you can commit to studying and preparing for the exam. It's recommended that you have a basic understanding of networking concepts before pursuing a CND certification. So if you don't have networking concepts down, then you're going to struggle for that one, right? And here's the last certification for this particular level there, folks. To qualify to take the SSCP exam, you need at least a year of paid work experience in one more of the exam domains. This could include full to part-time work as well as paid or unpaid internships. Oh my God. So there's no possible way for an entry level, pretty much, in that regards, right? Well, maybe. You know, you need to have been part of the workforce in order to even consider taking that particular exam. So, okay. But the first 90 days of hire, you better be you better be prepping prior to this. Just saying. Obtain the VCP 6.0 certification within 6 months of hires. So, what is the VCP 6.0 certification all about? Well, let's find out, shall we? What is the VCP 6.0 certification all about? It's the VMware Certified Personal 6 certification. Okay. This is, again, it feels very niche, meaning that, how many new college students are going to know about this particular program? Probably pretty few, I would imagine. Gain experience with vSphere 6, minimum 6 months recommended there, folks. Minimum recommended. So if they've never even had any dealings with this particular program before, this vSphere 6, which I've never even heard of before, they recommend a minimum of 6 months of working with it. Now, let's face it there, folks. As a software developer, you're going to be doing, like I mentioned before, I joined a job and they told me to learn a brand new language that I've never even heard about before, that I've never even used before. I got on that job, I learned it, and I used it. Okay, the cold fusion. Okay, you know, so but to expect me to get like a certification on that, like right on top as well, 6 months in, are you kidding me? Attend one of the required training courses at an authorized commercial training center. You have to take it at an authorized training center. So where's that? And and here's the thing. That training center, you know, the training courses. Here, here, hold on. Let me try to open up. Okay, you're not taking me to required training course section there, folks. What the fuck? Um, okay. Apparently this page is pretty much broken here, or at this moment in time I can't even get into the other tabs that they have available right at this moment in time. Okay. Let me go here. Um, okay, I'm assuming office locations is probably no. Uh, um, oh, remote proctoring of exams. Okay, so that's good. So you can actually do remote exams now, so that's good. Um, so you don't necessarily need to do, well, okay, well that's for the exams, but what about the training courses? Um, let's see. Um, okay, not really finding anything there. Um, Um, okay, wait a minute. What are they looking for? VCP 6 certification. Well, the problem is that they don't really have like a good, like which one? VCD and DX, and VCAP, deploy, design, probably VCP. Yeah. So, um, okay, wait a minute. Gain experience with vSphere 7 or vSphere 8 if I have no VCP certifications right at this moment in time. Required, attend one of the required training courses. Courses used by VMware to develop this exam and strongly recommended to you for exam preparation. Install, configure, manage, operate, scale, secure, install, configure, manage, optimize and scale. Courses VMware will accept which meet training course requirements. The list includes the courses used to develop this exam. So there's all those. And then, of course, you have to pass one of the exams, which costs $250. There, it's around 2 hours, 70 questions. Um, um, okay, so basically there's basically two different courses for like version 8, for example, right? This 5-day course, 5-day course there, folks. Features intensive hands-on training that focuses on installing, configuring, and managing VMware Sphere 8, which includes VMware SK8, VMware Center vCenter 8. This course prepares you to administer a vSphere infrastructure for an organization of any size. Um, Audience of system administrators and system engineers. Once again, we're talking about what, how many hats are they expecting this programmer to have for this entry level position here, folks? Okay. You're now talking about system administrators, you know, for the, they're saying that, this is typically given for system admins, not just software developers, system admins. Okay. Like, how many hats are we having for this particular position there, folks? You know, you have a software developer with Java. You have a networking developer. You have a web programmer. Um, you have a database administrator. Um, and you also have like security certifications along with that. This is all for entry level. it's like how many hats are you expecting to throw on this particular software developer at an entry level position? Especially in the first 90 days of hire. This seems very unreasonable there, folks, to me, to expect someone to have not only a certification in security within the first 90 days, but to also have a system administration certification within the first 6 months of hire. Oh, and to top it all off there, folks, must be a U.S. citizen. Sure, got that. But possess a minimum of interim secret clearance. How many entry level personnel do you know has a secret clearance? Probably not many, you know. I personally know don't really know that many, but then again, not many people talk with me about programming to begin with, but still, how many? On one hand, maybe? Two hands? I mean, I'm saying as an entry level. Okay. I'm not talking about people that have already been out there in the field and that know their deal, they're juniors, they're seniors, they're managers, you know, they might already have that secret clearance. That's perfectly reasonable. That's perfectly understandable. But as an entry level, okay, fresh out of college, how many can you name? I don't think I've heard a single co-student of mine ever that basically said, "Hey, I'm getting my secret clearance." Not a single one. It's not a course that is given at college. So it's not something that is, um, you know, easily handed out. Okay. You know, there's obviously a lot of preparation and work that kind of goes into, trying to obtain a secret clearance. So the fact that you have to possess a minimum, this is entry level here, folks. How many hats does an entry level student need to get a job? You know, it's just, sorry, I just get so frustrated with that. You know, so many jobs applied to and no responses. I'm seeing another posting for a job from this one company. that when did they post it? Is there anything that basically says when they posted this job? Um, well, either way, you know, um, this is a different. This was a different job posting because the title itself was different. Okay, same company, right? Um, yeah, hold on. Uh, oh wow. Okay, there's different. Hold on. I want to get. I want to get each of these pages. Okay. So as you can see, this job has expired, right? Entry-level Java developer. I saw this job posting back on June 9th, right? I applied to it. According to Indeed, 2,400, well, 2,400 people applied to that job. Applied to this job in particular. 4,000 people there, folks. Now, I never got a call from this particular company. I never really heard anything back from this particular company about this, right? That was back in June, right? June 9th, I applied for it. Then we had this position. Again, this job has expired. Same exact title for the most part, right? You know, one there, 482,014 there for some reason. I don't really know. Maybe to try to make their titles somehow unique and not overlap or anything along those lines. Who knows? Okay. Not quite sure what they're doing there. But, for the most part, looks pretty much the same for the most part, right? Um, basic understanding of the project domain. Basic understanding of project domain. Good understanding of SDLC and agile methodologies. Good understanding of SDL and agile methodologies. I mean, it's pretty much the exact same job posting, right? Benefits, health insurance, 8-hour shift, right? With 45 to 50 a year. Oh, but this one's 45 to 55 per year. Oh, they increased their high amount there, right? And health insurance 8-hour shift. Hey, work location remote. Hey, that's nice. Okay. But I mean, this one is also supposedly remote, so I mean, um, now how many people apparently applied to this one? Um, 1,386 to 1,390. So basically about 1,400 applied to it. And I applied to it on June 23rd. Not, what, 14 days after? This pretty much 2 weeks after that first one that I showed you here. 2 weeks after this, which had 4,000 applicants there, folks, they brought out this one. They had 4,000 entries here. People looking to get hired as an entry-level Java developer. That's so many applications that they should have no problem on hiring anybody for a long time. They could probably, if they hired one person off of that 4,000 every single day, okay? Let me do the math here, right? Um, so, you know, now of course you're gonna have to kind of take my word on it because I'm not necessarily showing you um, the overall data here. No, 2,400. Apologies. I was kind of messing up on that. Okay, but so if they were to hire one person out of that 2,400 people per day, you know how many years that would be? 6 years. 6.5 years per day. you know, that's a shit ton of applications there, folks. And every single one of them was trying to be hired as an entry level Java developer. I was one of them. You know, so am I supposed to expect like 6 years down the line, I'll eventually maybe get hired or something? They'll eventually call me up, 6 years down the line and say, "Hey Jim, we saw your application on Indeed, and we would love for you to join us here at I28." Um, okay, okay. So, um, the second one that I was telling you about, right? The entry level Java developer dash one, pretty much the exact same, you know, um, requirements, right? For the most part, they had 1,386 to 1,390. Okay. Now here's the thing. A lot of those people probably could have been the exact same people from, that first application, right? But, just for the hell of it, let me just kind of divide that by the 365 for the year and see that, hey, it's going to take them 3.7 years to get through that, you know, 1386 to 1390 people that applied for the job. Again, at an entry level, it should be very easy for them to easily pick up one of those individuals. I mean, some of these individuals might actually be like senior developers, and they're like, "Hey, I just need a job. You know, I will, I will take a pay cut. Just hire me. You know." Some of these could be fresh out of college, had have had no experience whatsoever, you know, in the field. You know, I've had a couple of jobs, after college. So, you know, one could consider me entry level, but at the same time might not necessarily consider me entry level. Okay. Um, but here's the thing. I'm not a full stack developer, or at least I haven't done like a full stack development job as a Java developer before. I've never had a position that did a full stack Java developer position before. Okay. The three positions that I had was um, C++ game developer position, so definitely not Java. Cold Fusion developer for my second job. So again, not a Java full stack there. Uh, did a slot machine tester for a long time, hoping that I could maybe work my way into their software development team. Basically going, hey, I know software development, hire me into your software development team. But that never happened. So, you know, I tried, climbing up the ranks there, but that didn't really work out. They wanted me to be a tester, and I'm like going, this isn't my field of study. This isn't what I'm interested in. But it is what it is, right? After that job ended, um, once again, I was having some difficulties, so I couldn't find anything. Eventually, I tried one of these contractor jobs, hey, they hire you, they train you, and then they send you back out there as a contractor under their umbrella and basically say, hey, you're going to do what we want you to do under the contractor label, and you're going to like it. And under that position, um, I was trained in Pega. Again, not a Java full stack, does and Pega is based off of Java, so I mean there's a little bit of there, that information there, right? But you know, uh, so that's 2 weeks after, right? You know, this is 2 weeks after seeing this, I see this from the exact same company there, folks. You know, same pretty much label of entry level Java developer here. You know, so and like I said, they have so many applicants that they could hire for years if they wanted to hire one person per day, right? And lo and behold, they have a new opened position there, folks. Now, I don't know when this opened. They're not like necessarily giving you when when this was created. So I don't know when this popped up, right? Um, but I mean that last one was June 23rd. So, 3 months. I mean, that's a pretty long time. But I'm kind of curious. How many positions has this company been kind of asking for? 12 jobs currently, right at this moment in time. Entry level DevOps. Can you scroll there? That's what's going on here. Entry-level .NET developer with microservices. Entry-level Selenium automation test engineer. Junior Java microservice developer. Entry-level DevOps with Azure. Junior UI developer with React and Angular. Salesforce dev and admin. Flask. Salesforce developer admin. .NET developer. It's like entry-level Java developer 99. There it is right there. Oh, this was posted 4 days ago. 4 days ago. Actually, hold on. Oh, you're right. Yeah, you guys can't necessarily see that. Here we go. I posted 4 days ago. Um, let's see. Kind of wish that I could see like their past job postings as well, because the fact that you know they're posting this over and over and over again, just makes me feel like, hey, this is not necessarily a company that I might want to join, because if they keep on posting this over and over and over again, then what are they? Why are they struggling to find hires? Right? I mean, do you agree with me on this one? Because I mean, I just showed you the fact that you know they've been asking for entry-level Java developers multiple times. Now, what is I-28 Technologies Corporation, right? Maybe there's something else there that I'm not familiar with. What are they? What we do? They're staffing and recruitment. Um, I-28 Tech Business is sourcing the ingenious people for the insight roles and the right time for delivering solutions that increase productivity and achieve scalable growth. Yeah, they're for staffing and recruitment. IT consulting, cloud application development. It's like, okay. So basically, they're very much like Reviture, um, Cognizant, and so on and so forth. based off of what I can see here. So of course they're gonna keep on asking for entry-level Java developers. They're basically filling up their coffers so that they can get, more people out there to contract with. And guess what? Hey, they're gonna pay you this much, which isn't necessarily the greatest of entry-level pay there, folks. But I mean, it's something, right? You're fresh out of college, that's not bad, but it's not necessarily good either. And whereas they're probably charging their clients probably around like 70 to 80, probably. You know, I mean, give or take. Or actually, you guys aren't necessarily seeing that. Um, see the pay here, 45 to 55 for this particular job here. 45 to 50 here. You know, that's probably, for you, the contractor, and so, they're probably charging their clients, you know, um, 70 to 80, probably, you know. Who's to say? Okay, I gotta take care of a couple things here. So I'm gonna stop the recording here on this because this is I already kind of put a lot of time into this. I'll still